Hi, welcome to I Can Do It. Today we're going to take a little tour through our home garden. Not much going on because it's October 13th, 2019, but we'll give you an overview. So next year, when we start planting things and getting the 2020 garden going, we'll have an idea what everything looked like before. This is the greenhouse. It's not completely finished because I want to make it where we can have all four season garden, but it is moving along. Got some straw in here going to on top of the garden beds, but when it's planting season when we get our seeds going, I use this tray here, or this shelf there. It can be in the sun, and I have the shade cloth up that I can move around. And then the back side we have some shelving also for some taller plants after the seeds have grown a little bit, or just extra space. So that's the greenhouse. This is the garden. It's fenced in to keep the rabbits and critters out. There are 14 beds. We have 7 small beds that are 3 foot by 8 foot on the top side. Right now I've got some bulbs and things like that in this first bed until I find a different home for them. And the other 6 beds have some winter ryegrass in them, and also some volunteer lettuce that's growing in there. That's the light pieces. And on the downhill side are 7 long beds. They're 3 foot by 20 foot. And I have 8 foot T-posts that I keep in the ground all the time. And it has a piece and a half of cattle panel. Each one is about 4 foot high, and then 16 foot long. And then I cut 1 1/2 long ways and put it on top. So I have 6 feet of usable space, and you can kind of see the peas. I mean, not the peas, the cucumbers that we had this season climbed all over it. But it's all for any of the tall plants, like the cucumbers and tomatoes, and there's some peppers right now. The frost kind of got them a little bit. But we have still some fruit on there. We need to get them off of there. But yeah, you can tell the frost the other night got them pretty good. And we're working towards putting not compost, I keep saying compost, putting mulch between the beds, and in the beds, which we never walk in, keep from compacting it, put layers of compost, and we're going to try straw. This is the first year we've tried straw on top as a mulch of the actual bed. So as you can see, we have walking paths and beds. In each bed, you can see we have planted. These are some tomatoes from this year. We have planted right along the edge of the cattle panel. So next year we'll be able to have the tall plants against the cattle panel, and then out we'll be able to put small things like lettuce, spinach, kale, onions, that type of thing along the outside of each bed to maximize the space. And then the beds with no T-posts in them, you can use that for cauliflower, broccoli, bush beans, things that don't require the trellising. And down here is the compost pot bins. Got 3 different compartments. I'm in the process right now of moving half finished or mostly finished compost over to this pile, but I'm also adding the spent plants from this year. Right now I've got some tomato plants cut up in there. So I'm shoveling that over to the other one, and this one will be empty so I can start adding new material to that one. But this bin is already finished compost. Just been keeping it covered. It's got a few things growing in it. But this is compost that's finished that I sifted. I have a sifter that I can move around there. So, and then next to the compost pile, I have kind of a big area where I've been storing all the leaves that I collect. So I can add those into the compost for brown material, along with our kitchen scraps and things like that. So that is pretty much the overview. Maybe next year we'll try to keep the weeds under control a little bit better. But we don't use chemicals or anything like that, so it's kind of a reach in there and pull them out or cut them out situation instead of just spraying everything and hoping it dies, which is not good for the soil or for us. So that is inside the fence garden. Do have room for expansion, and I've been considering using this open flatter area to plant possibly blackberries or blueberries, raspberries, that type of thing, or small dwarf fruit trees, or a combination of things. I haven't decided on that, that's why it's still not done. But I'd also consider a small chicken area or something like that. You can leave a comment down below if you'd like to see something specific out there, or if you have any ideas. But I think I'm going to leave it right there for now. Thank you. Remember, I can do it and you can too.